Hi crafty people, this is Kelly and Jordan from Crafty Kellys and Crafty as a Fox. I have just been jabbering away to nobody for the last 12 minutes because I forgot to press the go live button. I am a bit of a numpty sometimes. So, well, we are actually live now, and after I've whittled on to myself about several different things, well, brilliant, we're live now. So okay, so I'm just getting my thing up so I can see any comments that come up, if it will let me, and it probably won't now because I've just come off the wrong page. Right, I was doing so well, or well, I thought I was anyway. I thought I was doing so well. Right. There we go. There we go. Now we got it live. I'm a nightmare sometimes. I really am. So now I've managed to sort out what I was doing, and we can get back to get back to what I was chatting on about. So before I went live, actual live, I was talking about what's going on in the craft industry at the moment, because there it seems a little bit unsettled once again, because several companies have announced that they have not been offered any more hours at Hobbymaker. And some of these companies have been with them for 2 or 3 years, such as Over the Rainbow, Pearly Winks, Crafty Witches. So they've openly said they've not been offered any more hours and they won't be on the channel anymore, which is really sad to hear. More craft companies kind of been battered about a bit. And it makes me wonder if I'm going to be on that list as well. And maybe I will be, maybe I won't, I don't know. But as it stands at the moment, I've got a show on the 9th of May, so that's a week on Friday, that I'm looking forward to doing. I've got a couple new products that I've decided to bring to air, and yeah, it should be good. But it feels very unsettled at the moment. Today I have spent the day writing up a quite detailed blog post about everything that's been going on recently. So if you didn't catch my So Where's Create and Craft Gone one, which I did straight after the kind of the closure, and it had all the information about the liquidation, the timeline, and my experience in it all. So I wanted to do a follow-up. And weirdly enough, I was talking to Dan about this last week when I was at the craft store. But this has just kind of spurred me to actually go on and do it. So the blog post will be coming out later on this week, just detailing kind of where companies are now to a certain extent. So what is the craft store and what is it doing now? Bigger companies like Stephanie Wakeman, so Highlight Crafts, how they're kind of continuing to sell and be part of the craft community, but as an online presence. Hi Kelly, thank you for joining me, my love. So this blog post will drop later on this week. I've also kind of put it out to a load of other craft companies if they want their details put in it too. So there is a big list of some of the bigger and smaller craft companies that are kind of contributing to who want their information contributed to the blog post. Because for me, I just think it's great if we can share as much information and help each other out as much as possible, because it's really, really turbulent in the craft world at the moment. There have been some significant losses. So we've had Create and Craft, we've had Creative Expression, although I know Katie Sue has brought out some of their assets, but then there's the Craft Stash. Like, that was a big, the biggest online retailer has had to is closing its doors, so it's still open at the moment, but there's a knock-on effect for the brands that featured there. So like Lou Collins, who has now gone to Hobby Maker, she's no longer doing textures. I don't know, so there's a lot going on. So I just wanted to kind of make a safe place for people who are interested to know about this information, and to give actual information and not like tripe that's just kind of been battered around the internet, because people do like to batter a bit of tripe around. So that will be dropping later on this week. Anyway, back to, I know it's all a little bit depressing, sorry about that. It's just been a really crazy day to read all this and to hear from companies, and it's quite worrying, especially for a small company like me. But we're still going at the moment, so we will. Let's have a little looky at some of the new products that are going to be coming to Hobby Maker on a week on Friday. So that's the 9th of May. I think it's at 4 o'clock. I will double check. So this is totally new. Totally new for me. But I have decided to delve into the crazy world of MDF. Can you believe it? MDF. So what I've had made in the UK by a leading MDF manufacturing company. Our lovely people at Glitz Crafts are my manufacturing company, and I'm happy to share that. So I have had done several different things. So I've got some keys, and these are a large kind of 5 by 2 inches ish keys. I will get them out and we'll look at them on the desk. A large cog, so to put onto, so for these I'm thinking your mixed media pieces, your canvases, some bulbs to go with the light bulbs moment theme. And then this is my favourite. I'm so glad. When I first created the die, wink, I really wanted to create it into a MDF project. So I've had it made into a project piece. So it has all the elements that the die has, but it is, where's the die? It is much larger than the die. So let me just bring this out. And I'll flip it a you round so you can see it. She says, "Ooh, God, the smell of MDF, it's like burning wood. It's amazing." Let me flip. So there you go. I've got one that I've popped out. So let's move you out of the way already. So in the bulb, and in my Edison bulb, like in the, I'm missing one of my thingies, it must have fallen out in the pack. Like in, oh words, Kelly, I've forgotten what it's saying because I got distracted. So, like in the Edison bulb die, you can see the size difference here. And this is approximately like 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that, if you wanted, could fit onto a card, or it could fit onto a canvas piece. But so we've got the backing piece, we've got the kind of outline, we've got the stem, and we've got the filament part to make this 3D piece to kind of to put onto canvases or to books, to whatever you like to add your wooden elements to. But that was the inspiration for that, and I really wanted to do it at the time, but didn't. To be fair, I didn't know where to get it manufactured, and it was only because I bumped into the lovely people at Glitz Craft at one of the Stamporamas that we had a conversation. So here are the bulbs. So let me move you out of the way. Oh, I forgot that bit. There you go. So it makes up the whole lot. So cool. So cool. So the bulbs are made just like my normal bulbs, but they are sized slightly different. So they're bigger and smaller than the actual die. It's the same with the regular bulb size. Because I didn't want to give you exactly what you've got in the dies. I wanted to give you something a little bit different. So I'm very excited about those. Now the big cog. So the thoughts of why I decided to do a large cog was to put it onto a piece, a canvas piece, like so. So maybe an 8x8 canvas piece. I just think it would be really cool. And then like, so the bulbs, you get 4 of each design, but 2 different sizes in each. So 2 of each size. So then you can have your bulbs kind of hanging from there. Now we're not going to paint one up today. I'm going to do that later on in the week. Just, I haven't had the brain power to do that today, to get this sorted. I've been working on other things, as I've said. And then on top of this fun, what's it called? Gear. I've got me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 keys. 5 keys. It's quite a good amount of large keys. So you've got keys. I just think these are really cool. So these are going to be really good on your mixed media pieces. In conjunction with the wood that the MDF that I'm bringing out. So I'm very excited to be doing these because they're brilliant fun. So let me know your thoughts on the new wooden MDF elements. I'd like to know if it's something you are interested in or not, or am I just barking up the wrong tree, or have I made a grave error? Or, you know, is it just something a little bit different, a little bit fun? And if it is, you know, yay! Oh, wrong one. It's just something that I've wanted to do for a while, and I had a rare opportunity where I could do it. I can't remember the prices off the top of my head, but they range between £7.99 and £9.99. I think the MDF Edison bulb is £9.99 for the kit, but I'll double check. I can't remember because of my brain. So yes, that's the exciting new products that I'm sharing tonight, and I will be creating with them, and there will be some videos produced next week and going to be coming out close to the show and stuff. So those are all secret fun bits. Woo! Anyway, so for those that want to be creative, so I've spoken about crafting news and what's going on in the turbulent world of craft, new products, and now let's make something. So what I thought I would do is I really liked this background that I created in one of my was it Alive? I can't remember if it was Alive. When did I do it? Because if I did do it in Alive, I shouldn't be doing it now. What book did I say? Book 2. I'm going to find out I did it in Alive already. I have done it in Alive. So we're not going to do that. We're going to do it slightly differently, because I've already got some of it made up. So I wanted to experiment with different colours and different toppers from my collection. So let's do that, but we'll change up the colours. Now, so what have I used? I've used, in that project, I used this stencil, which is number, what's that? Number, I can't tell, I've got too much stuff on all over it. 8. Number 8. And I've got some dots, so let's get my dots out. Dotty dotty dots. And we're obviously not going to do it exactly the same, because what's the point of that? I just liked the liney bits, a little bit of liney bits, and we might bring in some brick, because I like my liney bits and brick, but we're not going to do the same colours. We're going to choose some different colours. Oh, Kelly, so I may be tempted, oh no, back into the MDF world. Ah, tempted back into the MDF world. Well, welcome, welcome. I do love that, the paper kit. Why can't I see that? Will fit relatively well to make a fab mixed media. Yeah, well, that's the idea, is to kind of work all of those products together with to make a mixed media project, because I love mixed media, and I love, it's funny because like you'll find like craft what's the word I'm looking for, craft, not celebrities, but craft well-known people, like like the delusionals, and Tim Holtz, you know, you go back to similar techniques, slightly different, because it's what you like doing, and because you get a good kind of what's the word, a good end product that you like. So I always go back to stamping and stenciling, because I love stamping and stenciling. I feel I get a good product at the end of it. So now, although I did say, what did I say? Stencil 10. Why have I got stencil 10 and 1? I made some notes for myself. And as usual, I'm not entirely sure what I meant by that. Stencil. Five, 1. Have I got 1 and 10? Oh no, that's not 1. That's 8. Where's 1? Oh, do you know why? Because stencil 1 is the one from, looking on the thing, stencil 1 from the Victorian and Textures collection. Oh, forgive me. Kelly, you should be really receiving your stuff very soon if you haven't already. So I've got stencils. I'm going to use some texture paste as well again. And I'm going to put my texture paste on here. And I've got one I created earlier. So I'm a bit scatty tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. Let's flip-a-flu. Flip-a-flu. Right, so if you remember last time, I just took a bit of crackle paste. Now this one's the translucent one, so it kind of it dries. Oh, it dries clear for one, but it dries with a bit of a plasticky kind of feel to it. So I'm just gonna run some paste on here, because I think these stencils are a really good depth for texture pastes, and I love using pastes and stuff. I need to get some more. One of my favourite pastes has dried up. But there is a little tip to, if you ever use any of the press and seal, this is what I use. This is press and seal. I did have press and seal on it, but I obviously had left it for a long time. It's really good to put on your texture pastes or anything that you don't want the air to get to, as just an extra filter, like film, sorry. So you won't be able to see that very well because it's kind of clear on white. So let's just give that a wipe. So I'm going to take this off of here, otherwise it's going to get all gunked up, because it's a bit plasticky stuff, this. I'll give that a quick wipe. By the time I finish the live, I don't want that dried on. Definitely not. I try not to use baby wipes too often because I don't really like baby wipes, but I've got a pack of them, so now I've got a pack of them, I end up using them. So you can see that, how that's come out. Like, I just love that effect just on its own. Those kind of like wavy lines, that could be like sea and blue. Yeah, so I'm glad you're super excited. Please, Kelly, do share with us what you make, because I love to see what you guys, what you're creating with the products. I really do. Managed to play. Oh, you managed to have a play. Oh, fabulous. Last collection today. We're having work done in the house. Craft. Yeah, I get it. It's tricky sometimes. Right, so that I'm going to just leave over to one side because I can use that for another background some other time. So what I have done is, this is one that I created earlier that I have let dry naturally, so the actual cracks form, because when you speed it up with heat, the cracks don't really form. And I've also got black card base, and a few bits that I've decided to, I always get out my texture dyes because I love them. They are brilliant. Some of my old pages, some scraps. I've got a couple of the ephemera pieces in the Victorian ephemera piece. I did already kind of do a little play with some colours and done a sentiment. So I may use that, I may not. I might end up having to find something else. We'll see. We will see. I'm not entirely sure. Let's get some colours. What colours do we reckon? Now I want to use that rusty colour because I really like that. And not entirely sure what colours to do with it. Maybe we keep it orangey. So I think that was the aged mahogany. Yeah. So I've got some aged mahogany, and this is Distress Oxide. I mentioned on the craft store the other day the difference between oxide and like the normal kind of spray stains and inks. This is translucent, so it is see-through, whereas this is opaque, which means, well, you can see it's got a chalkier finish, so it layers better upon each other. So with this, they're mixed more, whereas if you lay some colour down and then put more colour on top, a different colour, you're more likely to have separate colours without them kind of bleeding into each other too much. I have got some pieces. I don't want to go. I really like those colours. Maybe we'll go for something totally different. Should we go for like a purple or something? Purple, maybe. Will they go? Maybe. That's a little bit different. And I'm seeing what I've got quite a large collection. Don't know if I can actually you can see on that wall up there, I've got a big old long line of different sprays. I didn't bother changing the camera, so like above me here we've got all these different colours. So maybe a green. Should we experiment with those colours? Because that's totally different, but I really did want to use the aged mahogany. Really like that colour. This is a new one, so I got this in the closure of, I got quite a few little stash I've shared before on the closure of Creative Expression, which obviously is really sad, but did enable me to bolster my little collection of inks. Let's open that up. We can have a little look at these colours. Should we try them out first before we commit? Because I know what I'm like. I'm like, yeah, just do it. And then I'll do it and I'll go, oh no. That doesn't go. Should have just done that, shouldn't I? Right, I need some watercolour cardstock, and I'm sure I've got some in a pack here. She says, I have a load of bits already cut up. Like, love it when I think I'm organised and then I can't find it. Anybody else have that problem? Oh, there it is. There it is. Good. So, I always keep any like little offcuts like that. That's perfect because I can. Where's my box? I can use it for my colour testing, and if need be, that can get stuck into my book. So let's give that a go. I don't need the whole thing. So, Aged Mahogany, colour 1. Let's give that a go. Yes, I have the Tim Holtz spray box. Could just use a box, but I really like it. It's really good. It's really useful. We know I'm a bit of a Tim Holtz junkie. So we might get to these colours and go, God, that looks awful. Or we might go, awesome. I'm not sure about this green. Oh, actually, look at that. Look at that for some colours. That's very different. Right, I'm just going to quickly give that a little dry and then we can inspect it. Yeah, sorry for being late on. I had forgotten to press the go live button and was chatting away to myself and my stream. I don't know if I think that green's a bit much. We'll go for pink instead. I think I've got a pink oxide. I'm going to just spray it straight over that green. See if I can layer it. See if it looks alright. And just quickly open it, she says. Oh, I caused myself a right mischief. So I at the factory, so I work with my other half at the engineering factory. I got a massive bit of metal stuck in my finger, which is still bleeding. That was like 2 days ago. Keeps on opening. I go, look what I done to my wrist with my nail. God, carved myself up. Silly mare. Oh yeah, we're going to go for that instead. So that gives me an idea of what colours I'm going to use. I'm going to pop that over to the side and let that dry there. And let's bring in our card base. So we've got purple. We've got a seawater. And we've got Aged Mahogany. And I'm going to go with the Aged Mahogany first. We're going to give a good spray there and a good spray there. Give that a little dry, and then we'll add the next one. I also done something very exciting at the weekend. Very exciting. I went to see one of my favourite bands play at the O2. I went to see a band called Incubus play at the O2, and I haven't seen them in about 20 years. And it was amazing. It was so good. I did have standing tickets, and I was knackered by the end of it because we decided to drive up to London and drive home. To be fair, it wasn't a bad drive at all. It was fairly quick for driving into London. Took about 2 hours to get there and 2 hours to get back. But we didn't get home until about 1 o'clock in the morning. So I was done in on Sunday. I'm not very good if I haven't had sleep. I need my sleep. So this one I'm going to just try and take it up there. A little splodge there. We're almost done with our colours. Might take a paintbrush in there and move it around a little if I need to. If I can see one. It says. Back from. Oh, it's up there. Oh dear, she's smashing the place up. There we go. Stay there. Come on, dry. Oh gosh, it's steaming now. Right, let's pop that over to one side and move the box there for now. Let's see what we're doing there. Okay. So what I do want, where's that little my flip? So I've just taken a bit of baby wipe just to kind of take off any ink that's just sitting on top of the texture paste or crackle paste, because that will just sit on top. And I want to see those crackles with the texture paste and the ink coming through them. I kind of want to see those kind of colours coming through. I feel like this is a bit blotchy, so this is where we're going to bring in another stencil to kind of work this a bit more. So we use stencil 8 for the lines, but we're going to bring in stencil 1. So this was the first one I brought out, and we're going to take, what colour shall we take? I haven't got those colours in front of me. So we will probably use a bit of black soot. Maybe a bit of vintage photo, because that is a go-to of mine. And then, so I'm going to use some of the translucent inks because I don't want it to be too kind of in your face. I've got oxides and not translucent of it. Have I got matching colours? No, of course I don't. What have I got there? I've got aged mahogany. Do I have aged mahogany? An ink form. I do not. Nope. Or do I? Nope, I do not. That is Timber Jack. And in the pinkies, what was that one? Is that sure I had you. No, but I've got poison instead, so that's kind of close. And let's go for some Victorian velvet as a compromise. So let's see if we get a little bit of an impression. I mean, because it is all trial and error, eh? I think everything I do is a bit of trial and error. So I really do love the kind of sketchiness of this particular stencil. It gives really lovely texture to a project. So I'm just going to give it a good rubbing over with the ink. And we've got, oh yeah, see, that's nice. That's nice. I've got some of it popping through. That's exactly what I wanted. Which is rare that exactly what I wanted happens. And we're going to have some more down here. Just add that in. If this was the oxide, it would definitely sit on top, clearer, but I don't want that clear impression. I want kind of like a faded afterthought. That's the thing to call it, isn't it? A faded afterthought. Sounding a bit philosophical. So I'll pop you over to one side. So I need to keep hold of everything I've used so I can actually write it in my book later. I'm going to go round the edge in this purple to give myself an edge. I'm just going to give it a good like rubbing in. Because I do like a bit of a grungy edge. And then I think we'll do a bit of there we go. And we need to get some more texture in there. More texture, she says. More. Now, shall we use... Let's use vintage photo. And there's my little bag of... Choose my Watsits. Got to find the right one. There we go. Vintage photo. I'm going to add some cogs in here. And you may recognise a cog or two. Like that. And then I want to get a little bit of that. If I can get some cog in here. Once again, this won't sit on top of the paste once it's done, but that's good. It's set back into it how we want it. Lovely. And then we need some dots in the black. People still with me? Thank you for joining. For those that have just joined, I've been whiffly waffling on as usual. I have no idea what I'm doing as usual, as things kind of manifest. I'm talking absolute twaddle now, sorry. Right, okay. So some black dots. I'm not going to go too heavy. Oh, I did and I didn't mean to. Couple there, couple there. Let's do a little line here. And just there. Boop. So we've got some dots. I really like the dots. Dots are really cool. So that was in black soot. I'm using quite a few colours tonight. That wasn't the plan, but that's what's happened. Now, I did a sentiment earlier, and actually it kind of matches, so we're all good. But let's bring in our little extras to kind of, we've now got our background, and I'm kind of happy with that. I'm glad you're still here, Kel. I hope you don't mind me calling you Kel. So we've got our background, and we've got that kind of purple tone going through it with like a pinky, a light pink. I think that really works well with the aged mahogany. So this was kind of like the inspiration, like layout wise, shall we say, but I wanted to change up the colours in some of the stencils and maybe the stamps that we're going to use. So shall we add some text to it? I don't know. No, I don't think I will at the moment. I may come back to it and add some text from one of my stamps. So we've got my favourite texture dies at the moment. I also have some of my old pages, so I can ruffle these up and add a little bit of colour to them. But I just picked out a couple of elements that I like. I think I prefer the death moth. Do you like a death moth? Yeah, I think death moth is the winner. And I think I might do a little bit of stamping on this little bit of paper, just to add a little bit of texture from one of the stamps, because I really like. So in the texture stamp set, I've got this kind of Victorian-esque pattern that you can kind of make blocks out of it, or you can just use bits of it. So I quite like to just use bits of it, like I'll pick out like a certain shape of it, and I like to stamp with that. So I'm going to just take it in my hand and pick out a little bit of ink, and I'm going to just do a little bit there. And I think I might take, well, I might take that, I might shove it in there, get a little bit of that there. See, the difference between stamping and stenciling something, the actual kind of crispness you get from a stamp is so nice. Love it. Love it. I'm probably just going to like stamp everywhere now. Stamp, stamp, stamp. That's like added like another layer of texture. But I think I'm going to just tone back my paper. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to give it a little rub. I don't need any more ink on it. I just want to hint, knocking it back. There we go. So it's a little bit dirty. Let's do the underside. So if I curl it up, it all matches. There we go. There we go. Nice. Right, move you to one side. I've got stuff all over my fingers. And we said, did we say you? Or where do we want you? No, we want you. So, decided, going for liney lines. We're going for Death Moth. And we've got the Just a Note. So the Just a Note sentiment is from the Whispering Wings stamp set. It's like a real go-to for me for sentiments. I'm going to pop that down there. So let's have a little stickeroonie together. And where have I put everything, Kel? I need a tape pen. Somewhere there's one. There is one. Yes, so I mentioned I'm on Hobby Maker on the 9th. So if you guys can join me, that would be great. If you can like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be really amazing. I also recently have signed up to Buy Me a Coffee. So if you find my content helpful, useful, you like it, and you want to support what I do, you are welcome to give me a donation of a virtual coffee or tea. And you might be wondering, oh, I think I've made it a little bit too... Let's trim it down a little bit. It's £3. So, you know, if we were at a cafe and you brought me a coffee, it's kind of like that. I was advised to give it a go, so here I am giving it a go. Let's trim that a little bit. That's probably a little bit too much. I just have to add a little bit. That'll do. See if that fits better. Clearly didn't measure that properly when I was cutting it up. Do I need to take the edge down as well? Blimey, Kelly, what were you doing when you were cutting this up? I do like a bulk cutting session when I'm trimming cardstock, and I'll do several pieces of, so I've got a stash of them, but clearly I wasn't paying attention when I done this one. There we go. That'll do. Oh God, no it won't. Bob will go mad. Bob's got engineer's eye, and for those that are not sure what that is, if he can see something if it's millimeters off, and it drives him insane. I used to, sounds awful, I used to occasionally purposefully do it just to, so when I got home from Telebox he would be like, you did that wonky, because he would always spot it. He's a little love, isn't he? So let's pop that on to the card base, and that is the right way up. Not that it has to have a right way up. Just give that a rub. There we go. Nice different card. I'm just going to pop a little bit of, ooh. There we go. And so I've only popped the tape in the centre part. I've got stuff all over me now. All over me now. Right, I need my glue and I need some foamy pads. I'm sure I was going to do something else to it, but I can't remember what it was. So, oh well. Oh well. I will be going live again next Tuesday, because this is, I'm trying to get this to be my regular slot. Right. Oh, for anybody who was interested, the offer that I gave on the craft store last week with the 10% off anything on the craft store show is still active. So if you catch this or the craft store show, products will still have 10% off on anything that was featured on the show, on the craft store show. So if you wanted to grab those bits, you can, which supports me to continue bringing you new stuff, because I've been working on a lot of stamp sets recently. I've got quite a few lined up, and hopefully they will get to the point of being released, because, well, they will do, it's just if they're not released Telebox, they will be released on my website, because I'm going to have them made anyway, because I love them, because why the devil not? I just won't have the quantities that I do with Telebox. I'm totally oversharing at the moment. I think it's just crazy times at the moment. Crazy times. Do we want that? Do we want to pop that in there? Do I want to add some other little bits into there? I think I do. What else can we add? What else do I have to hand that I can add to that? Stupid things. Like these little, the backs of the dimensionals are the worst thing ever. I get them absolutely everywhere. I do. Right. I've got a light bulb there. Got a white one. I think I've got Got another one. No, I want the other shape. Is that it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. Oh my god, I got tons of that one. Oh, I've got tons of that one. So it looks like I'm just using that one then. So I used 2 of them. And where are my little white pens? Make it look like those are coming down, like they're part of it. Maybe. About from the top. Not sure now. I think it's because I want the other shaped bulb. Okay, that one's going to go there. I'm going to do some white doodly doodle. Even if you make them just... I'll buy them. Oh, thanks, darling. Actually, I think you'll really like a couple of collections that I've just finished, or I'm just finishing up. I think you'll like them. I do. I think, shall we tuck the other one on top here? I shall do some drawing around it. I can just chippy chop that end off. So let's close that. Let's get these. Let's get the highlighter pens. What one was it? Was it the 10 that I like? Was it that one? I think so. So I'm just going to draw around it. And then I'm going to add some kind of definition. Let's... Ooh. That didn't go quite to plan. Oh well. Does it ever? Okay. Oh, I didn't share with you all because I don't always share everything that happens in life, but we ended up down A&E on Friday night. My son, who is an avid scooter, he's, you know, it's like skateboard scootering. He came off and decided to cushion his fall with his face, right on his birthmark. For those that don't know, my son has a hematoma on his face, which covers half of his face, and we are under Great Ormond Street having laser treatment for it at the moment. And he landed straight on it, literally scraped up his entire face. So that was fun Friday night. At one point, we didn't think we were going to go to the concert because we were like, well, little man needs us. But thankfully, we could go to the concert, so it was okay. It was okay in the end. But I'm glad he has put aside his fear of falling face planting again, and he has gone back down to the skate park with his daddy this evening. I think Bob's like, I've got to try and keep the child quiet while I'm doing this, which he doesn't have to do that. I mean, if Theo's there, it's Theo's there. He's part and parcel of what I do. There we go. Look how well those bulbs look now. Yeah, my poor little man looks like he's had a right beating. Oh, I forgot I've got a Coke here. Try not to slurp in your face. So, look at this. Actually, this has come out much better than I had thought. It's funny that happens to me all the time. I always think that it's going to come out really badly, but then it comes out really nicely. I really like that. So, how we got here. Let's have a little recap of how we got here. So this was a card from a previous Facebook Live, not Facebook, YouTube Live, because we're live on YouTube. Subscribe and like my stuff. Sorry. And then I really liked the kind of lininess from that stencil. So I wanted to recreate that, but with obviously different focal points. So using my texture die, using the ephemera from the Victorian collection, and some of my bulbs from the Light Bulbs Moment die collection, I've just been able to create a completely different looking card by changing up the colours. A couple of the stencils are the same, but they are very different projects. But that's what I love about like my card journaling. It enables me to look back at a project, know what I've used, know that I would like to change it up, and then kind of go from there. So using that inspiration to then create more inspiration. So if you are new to me and my card journaling, so I have these books, card journaling. Kel, you'll know all about these. Card journaling, and it's all about logging your project, so you can look back at it, so you can recreate it, so you can have a record of what you've created, because once we've usually made something, we give it away. So it's really nice to be able to keep something for ourselves. So this is my book for me. And when I'm old and I've forgotten everything, because I am forgetting stuff already, I've got it to look back on what I've created in my life. So for me, this is kind of important, because I really do have a bad memory and I really do forget everything. So that's a recap of our project. I hope you've enjoyed creating with me today. Next week we will be live again, and we will have a good look at some finished products that I've made, or some finished samples using the new MDF collection that will be on Hobby Maker with me on the 9th of May. If you are affected by anything I've spoken about today about in the craft industry, I mean, do reach out. I'm happy to have a conversation. Also, let's see if we can support those companies, because I mean, it's troubling times, but we all want to carry on doing what we love doing. Yes. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad he's okay too. Just the absolute sheer terror last Friday, when me and my other half, and his dad, we would sat there on the bench watching it happen in slow motion. Jeez. Yeah. Thankfully, he was wearing a helmet, which did help, but he still sliced up his whole face. Yeah, well, I think that's about it. So join me next week for our Crafty Live, our Inspiration Live. Obviously, the products I've used are available on my website. I don't expect you to go buy them, you know, unless you really want to. But if you could give me a thumbs up, share the channel, and subscribe to the channel, it keeps me going to continue bringing you more projects and inspiration, and to talk absolute twaddle at you whilst I do so. So sorry about that. Can't help it. I think that's it. I'm waffling again. I'm waffling. Watch out for that blog post. And yeah, I will see you all again soon. It's been a pleasure as always. So thank you for your company. And I will see you all very soon. I can't remember what else. That'll do. See you guys later.